In 2011, while camping in Florida, I had my first experience with something I could not explain. Since then, I've made it my personal goal to find out what's in the woods. Our show is filmed, edited, and produced by myself and my team only, bringing you the true evidence.
My tag. We're coming in hot, man. We have activity.
Having a background in video editing and tired of all the fake shows on TV, I decided to make my own series. This series is meant to show our true and real expeditions searching for Bigfoot, but more importantly, to entice friends and families off the couch to explore what this amazing world has to offer. My name is Mike Familant, and this is my journey in the shadow of Big Red Eye.
Myself and my team have traveled to the Catskill Mountain range in southern New York State. We've been coming here for a while and managed to capture some good evidence along the way. This trip we've come to research the most active area in the park in the same area that in 2003, Doug Pridgeon filmed the famous New York baby Bigfoot footage. We have a lot planned for this trip, so we'll jump right in.
Complete with dead, So behind me is the world's third largest garden gnome. We stopped here along the way to Basecamp, and I found a review online. Elena writes, "One of the best gnomes I've ever seen in my entire life." And it's definitely a gnome. Oh no, that's a big mud pile. That's a lot of mud right there.
Sunset setting on another good night. Little can't-wait tailgate party on ice. Chilling in the back of a four-wheel drive. About to pop a top. You got the stories and pizza on the stove left over, and only 8 hours to go till it's back on time. One on. Everybody's working out, doing 12-ounce curls.
You stuck it in your little stick like that. Now the question is, how do we get back through that?
We're gonna just take it fast is what we're gonna do. Ooh.
Michael. Why can't we go further?
It's way too steep of a clearance for my car. Alright, so there's where I got stuck.
Yeah.
I thought you'd just go for it, no?
Yeah. Just roll your window up. That's how you f***ing get through mud.
Woo!
God.
Oh, too bad. What's up, ladies and gentlemen, fans? Mike here. We just got to Basecamp, and I want to just do a quick little tour. You're going to be seeing this for the first time, as well as me. So our base camp is going to be right by the vehicle over there. There's a nice little fire pit, some good area. This we drove around for a while trying to find a campsite. What's funny is this is nice. What's funny is we actually were set up. Oh, and there's service. We actually set up about half a mile from here. Well, we were going to set up about a half a mile, but unfortunately the road was not intact anymore, so we had to go to a different camp. This was our second choice. I picked it because it was so close to the first one, so we wouldn't have to drive too far, and this is a really good area. Another nice camp little site. So that's why we picked this one. It's half a mile away from our first location, and it took us an hour to get here. It was like 40 miles, so that's cool. But we are here now. We have one vehicle that's parked out there. I think that's a hiker. There's this is a great spot. There's a trailhead right here. Mountains behind us. Over down that way is a little creek, and this is the end of the trail. No one's passed us. Can't drive down any further. This is great, and it's very squatchy. I got a good feeling as soon as we got in here. So.
Any minute now, my dreams will all come true. Any minute now, it'll all come crashing down.
We hiked back a ways, and we're at the intersection of a snowmobile trail and a, let's see what this is, foot trail. I think this is going to be a good spot for our camera. TC1 we placed right out looking at Rebecca, so that way we got two intersection there. So I'm going to put that one up here. We're going to use an app called Polaris. It's a very, very powerful app. Create a waypoint. Save current location. This will be TC1. And then it says photograph waypoint, so I'm going to take a photograph of, go back out to the trail, and I'm going to take a photograph of the trail coming in, so that way we know exactly where the camera is. Really powerful program. So that's saved. You can see we have a tree stand in there, and then White Sands, New Mexico, if you ever wanted to go. It is created on December 31st, 1969, and it's 1,844.73 miles away. So we came across this downed white birch tree. I'm going to salvage some of it for fire tonight. Our fire pit is extremely wet, so I'm just going to salvage some of this, and the way to do that is very simple. This is a down dead tree, so it has no use anymore. It's not, if you take the bark off, it's not going to hurt it. Just make an angle. And then this birch bark is, I'm sure you've heard me say it before, is extremely wonderful fire starting material. Even when it's wet like this. There we go. We're going to have fire for days with this. No question about it. You can see this tree got struck by lightning.
Oh.
It's all the way up to the top. That's really cool. It's crazy. We were just, we kind of bushwhacked a little bit, and I watch for prints here, but you could see there's a little creek here, which is going to be great for footprints. Yeah, wow. We're gonna have to walk this creek at some point. But you can see right there, there's the game trail comes out. You can follow it right across the log. It goes up, out by right where Rebecca's standing, and then out that crosses the road, which is pretty cool. So this is a stellar place for a game trail. And I want there to be a squatch print, like, bad. This is perfect habitat. Perfect. Trail camera 2. Alright, so we're behind camp for trail camera 3. And there's this very nice pristine rock wall. Except for right here. Obvious signs of game activity that goes through here. I don't know where they go from here. Looks like it's pretty thick. They might go straight through there, but regardless, this is a really good area for a trail camera. I'm gonna take another. I did come across this, which I did find interesting. Probably nothing. I don't put many big things on stick structures, but this one is, it's bent. Definitely could be snow load. It's an old tree. Still intact on the ground. And it goes like around, kind of like all the way around. So that's kind of cool. Again, if that's anything, it's not conclusive. This is creepy back here. It's got the creep factor going on right now. Wonder if Bigfoot know what kind of mushrooms to eat. So there's a large variety of mushrooms around here. I'm gonna put it on this tree. I hate to put it so close to the hole there, but this is I'm gonna put it so it faces kind of like down that way. So you get the very edge of the rocks and then the whole kind of open field down. Then that leads right up to Basecamp. So cool. We just, maybe 10 seconds ago,
We're talking about general assistance.
we just had a rock thrown at our base camp. That has not happened to me since what got me into Bigfooting in Florida. But it was behind here.
That was a rock.
No, there's a 100% chance that was a rock.
I felt the ground.
Yeah, it landed right in here. I wonder if I could see it. Should be right above everything. Again, it didn't land close to us, but it landed by us. I'm 100% positive that was a rock. Dad will be able to find it. Actually, you know what? I'm going to get my therm and look for a heat signature on a rock real quick. And hypothesis behind using the thermal camera is that
the body heat of whatever just threw something, let's see if it sounds the same, would transfer to the rock or whatever the object is, and that would retain heat for a little bit of time so I could use the thermal imaging camera to find it. Hey, I'm going to throw something and tell me if it sounds the same. Yeah? Okay, we debunked it. That was an eggcorn. What? Eggcorn. That loud? Yeah. It was hot, so I picked it up. I'm like, what the heck, what is this? I thought it was a rock. I picked it up, and I was like, man, this is the only hot thing around, so threw it. That did sound the exact same. Exact. So that is debunked. That came from one of these beautiful acorn trees. Acorn. Awesome. Good job. We did an awesome job debunking that.
The sea and all the lands. I want to walk in fields of paradise. Would that be nice if I could be with you any minute now? My dreams will all.
What's up, guys? It's night one here in the Catskill Mountain Preserve. We are in Sundown Wild Forest. It's a 30,100 acre tract of land in the southern Catskill region, Sullivan County, and it's part of the larger Catskill Park, which is over 700,000 acres. Close to 750,000 acres here. This is our first night, and we picked this area because of its proximity to recent reports. Now, we are the only people here. Oh God, it's cold. We are the only people here. The closest house to us is maybe 2 miles away, so we're in a pretty good area. There's a creek right by camp, some open fields. It's really just a great area. I'm solo hiking now on night one. I don't know if we're going to stay here the whole trip. We're going to definitely try to investigate the whole Catskill region this trip, go to different sections of land. But this is just to start it off, and again, why I picked this is it's the furthest you can get from people. So, and we're the only people here. So if we get a call back, there's a high probability that it's not going to be a person. So we're going to walk a little bit down some of these roads and trails, and I'm going to try to find a good knocking stick, and hopefully we hear something. I'm going to start off the night with a deer call.
This is Basecamp.
Okay, I was doing some calls.
Thank you.
It was 1897. A farmer up here in Margaritaville, which is, oh, maybe as a crow flies, half hour from here, reported seeing a Bigfoot come and take one of his horses and haul it into the woods. The farmer shot at the horse. The Bigfoot, or ape man, as they called it back then, dropped the horse and then took off into the woods. I say that not because the story, the sighting is relatively significant, because it's not. I shouldn't say that, it is, but it's not overly detailed or anything like that. I say that because that was in the 1800s. What's super interesting, the Catskills has a history of Bigfoot sightings starting back in the 1870s. This is when it was kind of first reported, seeing ape-like children, ape-like men. And that was back in the 1870s. In the 1920s and 30s, there was a huge increase in sightings in the Catskill region. And then just a few years ago, there's been another increase. That was back in, I think, 2017, if I'm not mistaken. So it's definitely has a history of sightings in this area, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to come up here. Now, this isn't the first time that I've been up in the Catskills. This is fairly close compared to many of our expeditions to where our headquarters is. So it's nice to be a little close. It's nice to have some history and know where you're going before you actually go there. This trip has been long overdue, and I'm very excited for it. Bridge not too far down that goes over a little creek. Found a good knocking stick, so I'm going to go down there and do some knocks. Out at the base camp, I'm going to do a dual direction howl. Actually, two whoops in two opposite directions in 10 seconds. Alright, we have made it to quite near the site. It's behind me, where New York's baby Bigfoot footage was captured. We're in Woodstock, New York, and I'm curious to know. I'm going to throw up the clip now. I'm curious to know what everybody thinks of that video. So take a look, and then I'm going to turn us around, and that's the field back there.
The homeowners did not want to be interviewed about it, but baby Bigfoot was seen in one of those trees back there. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below the video. If that Bigfoot if that is actually a Bigfoot in that video. We are, it's going to be close to an adult now, so that's who we're hoping to find. Whoever's swinging around that tree right there in that video. This. Is it good? Gotta be good. This is. I'm gonna film.
Oh my god. Yep.
Yeah, I'm getting that.
This is another reason why I prefer to go camping. Look at that. I'm like shaking. I'm so excited for this thing.
It's really good.
So we recorded this in February of 2016, I believe. And what happened was, it was a really nice day down in North Jersey. And being in February, I hadn't been camping in months, so I wanted to get out, and we picked Balsam Lake Mountain Wild Forest as our campsite. Down in Jersey, it was like 70, low 70s, upper 60s. Beautiful day for February. When we got up to Balsam Lake, where we're en route to right now, there was 2 feet of snow on the ground, and it was like 18 degrees. So, what we ended up doing is, we ended up camping in the cars, which I hate doing, but we ended up sleeping in the cars. We really didn't get much sleep that night, but it was so cold we didn't even want to do an investigation. But we did, just to say we did one. I was with my buddy Steve and Kevin, and Steve has been hunting his entire life in the woods. And we went up to, we did a night hike, but it wasn't a night hike per se. We got out of the cars and walked like 20 feet and then walked back. That was the extent of our night hike, because it was just too cold. It was too cold to do anything. So we were walking quiet, no calls, didn't do anything. We had our thermal. It was just a very cold, quiet night. Being winter with snow, you could hear everything. So we got up down to the end of this road, intersection of this road, and we stopped and listened, and we were therming, and out of nowhere, like I said, we didn't do any intimidations, no vocalizations, no tree knocks. Out of absolute nowhere comes this really just solid Bigfoot vocalization. It was very similar to an Ohio howl, and my buddy who's been hunting is like, what the heck was that? And as soon as it vocalized 3 times in the recording, and right after the first one, you can hear clear as day coyotes respond to that vocalization. It starts getting them wild up. So what's really cool about that recording is you have 2 species in there. You have the unknown species, and then you have the coyotes, which Bigfoots are commonly misidentified as, especially with their vocalizations. So you have a clear as day pack of coyotes, which sound nothing similar to this thing that got them going. And just one final note on that is, we were in the middle of nowhere. There was nobody camping by us. The closest house was, I couldn't tell you, is a closed fish hatchery, and this was at about 11 o'clock at night, I think. So I think that was one of my first ever vocalizations that I've recorded, and one of my best. So I'm very excited to get back, even though it's not February, it's the same time of year. I'm very excited to get back up to the same location, and I think we got a really cool technique for tonight. I hope it works, and let's just hope and cross our fingers that we're going to get better, the same if not better results as last time. to Alder Lake in Balsam Lake Mountain Wild Forest and take a ride. There's a very popular campsite down there, and it being Labor Day weekend, I'm sure that there's going to be at least a few people camping down there. So I just want to get an idea, see how many people are down there. Then we're going to drive right out to where we heard that vocalization, do some call blasting with the same vocalization that we recorded. The reason why we're doing that is in hopes that the Bigfoot that we recorded is still in the area and can hear and will hear itself making that vocalization and confuse the crap out of it and respond back. So this is it's not a lot of the time you get to use this technique, but I'm glad we're here. It took about an hour and a half or so to get here from our base camp, but that's okay. Normally, I was telling them, normally I don't drive that far from base camp, but this is totally worth it. I think it'd be a disservice not to investigate this and do the call blasting. So we're just gonna kind of do a little initial scout of the area, see what's going on, and we'll update you as soon as we get to our recording location.
No.
I'm going to take this one. I'm going to do the same vocalization that I heard, that we recorded. It's going to be a series of 3 howls. Don't say anything after the howl, and if we get something, just be nice and quiet. This is the exact same spot that we were when we got them, and they were down that direction. I'm going to do it the same direction. I'm going to be quiet, still after the call.
Any minute now, our dreams will all come true. On another day, the truth is coming down. We'll be swept away, and no meaning will be found.
So this was about maybe, I would say 2 months ago.
Okay, wow, that's very recent. Okay.
About 2 months ago. And it was like about 1:30 in the morning. And I was coming home from a meetup, and out of the blue, I saw something that was black and very tall, and it was not a man because there was too much hair that seemed to be kind of like a hairy being. And basically it was turned sideways from me, but I know what I saw.
Right.
And it was very tall, and it had very wide stripes, but I almost hit it. When I saw it, I almost hit it. I mean, it just came out of nowhere.
Right.
And it was like something spooked it. But there was a barn there, there's a swamp and creek on the other side. So it is very woody headlights. It was straight, but it wasn't like a fur that you would see on an animal. Like a bear's fur is different. This was like long, almost like my hair long.
Right.
And was it matted? It was hard to tell, but it was almost like unbrushed hair.
Okay. All right.
And it was long and it was dark, very dark fur. Almost like, not fur, it wasn't really fur, it was like hair. It was like
Okay.
hair.
Have you told anybody about this since then? Like, have you told
I did. I told my family.
told your family, and they thought you were
They thought I was nuts.
crazy, yeah.
And I was like, I know what I saw.
Right.
I saw something out of the different. Out of the ordinary.
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
Just not something normal.
And I've heard that you've been around here your entire life. You know the wildlife, and you've been in the woods, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Besides that incident, have you ever seen or heard anything like you can't explain, or like in the woods?
Not really. I mean, I hear sometimes there's weird noises.
Okay.
That sometimes I can't really identify.
Okay.
But as far as anything as strange as what I saw, not really.
All right, final day here in the Sundown Wild Forest. It's myself. We got Charlie, and we have Sean, and we're going to take a kind of evening sundown, see what I did there, hike. Does anybody know the history behind these walls here, the rock walls? I'm assuming they're early 1900s for splitting up the land. You guys know?
No, I don't.
No. I know in North Jersey it was used for like land property boundaries for like farming and stuff. So
It makes sense that'd be the same because you're talking a huge area for a house or a structure.
Yeah, I don't think this would be a structure.
Unless there was like a timber industry or something like that. That's the only.
Yeah, well, these are second and third growth forests, so it was timbered. All this was timbered at one point. But yeah, I don't know if these are Native American or later than that. Probably later because they're still in pretty good shape. But they're all over throughout here, so to be something. We're just kind of taking this for a while and just randomly walking. Advise against this, but I do have maps, paper maps, and trail maps, and my GPS. We know we're not going to get lost, but we decided to just go randomly walk in the woods. Pretty cool. Out for the base camp. Thank you. Yeah, go for it.
You ready?
That'd be nice with you any minute now.
in Sussex County.
It's our final night here in the Catskills, and we decided to go towards towards an area that has a lot of activity, and we're actually going to drive around the perimeter of it and try to infiltrate into it as much as we can with our vehicles. If you notice, we just passed like a couple campgrounds and stuff back there that they're very busy right now, but we're far enough. I think we're like 3 miles away from them. So here's going to be a really good spot to do a call, and we're kind of like on the side of a hill. So we're going to do the call backwards and down the valley. So does anybody... Yeah, correct, yep.
Okay.
Does anybody want to start off the night with a nice howl?
Mine's more scream and
Like a low howl,
Like an Ohio howl, yeah.
Yeah, that Catskill Jeep, that was pretty long to live.
It was like, what the... I've never had anything like that happen to me.
I should have passed out business cards.
Just give them high fives and all that.
Right?
Yeah, I was telling Sean, it's funny though, they're all there, the souped up Jeeps, and let's go, there's something here.
Chevy Malibu.
That's it. I was like, I just busted 80 grand for this car.
So what do you got going on over here, Sean?
I'm gonna try to set it up so I can get a little bit. Just doing some calls,
Okay,
and I got a recorder as well up front here to try to pick up whatever we can get.
sweet.
And if we get something, hopefully I'll send it to you, obviously. But
Yeah, I got a recorder going too, so good.
hopefully we do. It's the only chance to give it a stab, you know.
Yeah. Well, let me know when you're all set up.
All right.
And
Well, I'm sorry, I'm with you.
Sounds pretty good to me.
That's about the best I can do.
Want to walk in fields of paradise. Wouldn't that be nice?
It's our final night here in the Catskills, and we are currently hiking up Slide Mountain, which is the epicenter of recent reports.
Where do you get that directly from Fleeter? Or
No, it's you can buy them online. I got that through. Forget the name of the place. You can Google them, and they sell them for. I think they're down to like $450 now.
450?
Yeah. I'd like to try a tree knock here, if we could find a... This just feels like a tree knock place right now. I don't know why. Here, Charlie, you got gloves?
Yeah.
Get one of these rocks and just do like 3 smashes against another rock. Find like
another rock?
find like a flat one or something, and just hit it 3 times. Alright, we've been driving around for quite some time,
and made it down to this. We just pulled off the road here. I don't know, you won't be able to see, but that's a Soph Creek. Let me see if I can turn the light on and show you. Just therm the whole area. There's nothing. Oh man, that's clear as anything. I don't know if you can. Let me see. I'm gonna try to get up close here. I bet you there's some fish down there. That's so clear. It's insane. So this is going to be Rebecca's first Bigfoot call, and wait for Sean to get set up here.
It's not the Ohio version, it's the Betsy version.
It should be on to, yeah, it's already on night vision.
And Sean's going to do a scream here. I would back up, Rebecca.
Yeah, it's it can be fairly loud. Should I only face this direction or a different way?
Yeah, go across the river, why not?
Alright. Alright, here we go, guys.
So we were just tending to the campfire, kind of standing around it because it's very cold, and I am positive that there was a stick that broke behind us, behind our tent here, right next to camp. The audio recorder picked it up. I thermed the area. I didn't see anything, but it was, I'd say, right behind those trees, maybe about 30 feet into the woods, 20 feet into the woods. There's no real wind. Maybe a small little steady breeze, but that's about it. And it sounded like someone stepped on a branch, like a already downed branch.
Had a snap to it.
Yeah, definitely had a snap to it. So whatever it was, there was force behind it. Didn't hear anything coming through the canopy, so I'm assuming it was already on the ground. We're on high alert here at camp. About 1 minute after I stopped filming, we heard a tree knock. Same direction behind camp. Yeah, it was like, yeah, dead stick hitting a tree type thing. It was not loud, but close. A spider. Leaf. So I'm just going to go about doing what I normally do. I'm going to keep this actually running, facing behind camp here. Hopefully it picks up some visual stuff of what is going on, as well as audio. Alright, final night here, final night hike. It's myself, Charlie, and Sean. and Rebecca is at Basecamp. I did have some activity at Basecamp, so that's why we chose to leave Rebecca back. Hopefully she'll get some good activity. We have, she has a camera and the voice recorder is going. And I'm all suited up. It's cold. It's in the 40s. So we're all suited up and do some knocks and some vocalizations and see what we can get.
We were about half a mile away from base camp on our final night investigation when we got an emergency call from Rebecca at base camp saying something was around her.
We just got a call of someone walking around base camp. So we're running back there.
Our final night ended with a Class A visualization of her hot rock. As for what Rebecca heard, we will never know. She also saw orbs on the road around camp.
Any minute now, my dreams will all come true. There'll be an end to this waste, and I'll finally lose this blue.
But before we could call this expedition over and go home, we stopped at an abandoned zoo called the Catskill Big Game Farm. It's an amazing place, and one that I suggest to everybody visit if ever in the Catskill region. Our time spent in the Catskills is always special to me as the beauty and solitude are spectacular and unmatched. We may or may not have gotten evidence of a Bigfoot, but we have here before, and you know that means we'll be back. Please subscribe, follow our Instagram, Shadow of Red Eye, and like our Facebook page. Signing off for In the Shadow of Big Red Eye, I'm Mike Familant, and this was our journey to the New York Catskill Mountains.
Any minute now, it'll all come crashing down like trees in a forest.